See that? All right, let's even it out a little bit. Okay. All right.
Ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good morning, and welcome to our Winter Weather Preparedness Update. I'm Kim Stenson with the State Emergency Management Division, and we have several experts here today to discuss winter weather operations and individual preparedness. And I'll begin by discussing individual preparedness. We typically expect winter weather in January and February here in South Carolina, but now is the time to get prepared. We learned many lessons during the last several years with winter weather, and we've developed a separate winter weather plan, which has been validated during several fairly recent winter weather operations. We're prepared to respond to winter weather, but we need everybody to be their own emergency manager, and we have several tools to help build a plan and help with that, and that's our mobile phone application, and then also our website at scemd.org. The mobile app called South Carolina Emergency Manager helps build a plan, keeps track of supplies and finds shelter locations, and it can be downloaded at Google and also Apple. And our website is also a tool for everyone to use at scemd.org. and is designed so people can more quickly and easily access information, especially emergency information during these events, and stay informed. Our severe winter weather guide, the governor already showed you that, but I'll show it to you again, is available for download on our website, and also is accessible, at least the key points, through our emergency manager app. In there, so that's there as well. But it'll help guide you and your family or business to get through winter weather here in South Carolina. So it covers several things, but I'll just cover some highlights here. One is having 3 days of food and water. Roads may be impassable during winter weather. Having winter supplies, including shovels and rock salt in your household emergency kit, which is a little bit different from what we normally do for hurricanes. Insulating pipes, and if necessary, allow faucets to drip a little to keep your pipes from freezing. And then also learn how to shut off your water valves in case you do have a pipe burst. Power outages are common during winter weather events, so certainly be aware of the dangers of possible carbon monoxide poisoning if you're using alternate sources for electricity, heating, and cooking. And rather limit your time outside during winter weather. Small children and the elderly are especially vulnerable for the effects of winter weather. And also don't forget to have a plan for your pets and your livestock. Finally, keep informed about the weather by monitoring trusted news sources and signing up for emergency alerts. And in conclusion, we encourage you to go to our website and mobile app and get prepared for winter weather. And I'll be followed by Tricia Palmer from the Weather Service.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here today. My name is Tricia Palmer. I'm the Warning Coordination Meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Greenville-Spartanburg. As we head into another winter, it's important for residents and visitors to the state to keep in mind that winter storms can and do affect South Carolina, with impacts from snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Additionally, it's important to be mindful of extreme cold. Lengthy periods of below normal temperatures can cause impacts to infrastructure, pets, and livestock, and of course can be extremely dangerous for us if we do not take precautions to prevent frostbite and hypothermia. Now, NOAA's outlook for this upcoming winter season is calling for warmer and drier than normal conditions on average across South Carolina. Now, this is due to the presence of La Niña conditions. La Niña is a large-scale weather pattern influenced by below-average sea surface temperatures in the central and eastern Pacific. This typically causes storm systems to track north of our region during the winter. Although La Niña winters tend to be warmer and drier on average, other factors influence our weather from day to day and even week to week. Within the course of the winter, cold outbreaks and individual winter storms are, of course, still possible. The most recent example of this is just last year when we were in a weak La Nina and we had a record-breaking January snowstorm that spread all across the South and even impacted South Carolina from the Low Country to the Grand Strand. Now, back in January of 2022, the state experienced 3 winter storms in a row, each affecting sort of a different portion of the state with significant impacts, again, despite the La Nina conditions. So while the overall average this winter may be warmer and drier, keep in mind that all it takes is one winter storm to make it a bad winter. So please prepare now so that you and your family will be safe this winter season. Our meteorologists at the National Weather Service will issue watches, warnings, and advisories for winter weather conditions as necessary, with a focus on expected impacts so you can make informed decisions for your safety. You can always find your latest forecast and any winter storm information at weather.gov. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brigadier General Hyman with South Carolina National Guard. South Carolina National Guard is prepared to support civil authorities in response to emergencies caused by winter weather. Our soldiers and airmen are prepared, trained, and ready to respond to any situation that might arise. We work hand in hand with the South Carolina Emergency Management Division to provide critical support as requested by local, state, and federal agencies, whether it's clearing roadways, manning points of distribution, or assisting first responders. In an event of severe winter weather, we are ready to deploy our personnel and resources to assist our communities. The citizens in South Carolina are an important part of winter weather preparation. When you are prepared, you help protect our communities. We encourage everyone to prepare ahead of time by stocking emergency kits, staying informed, and having a plan to stay safe during winter storms. South Carolina National Guard remains in constant coordination with the South Carolina Emergency Management Division and other agencies to ensure we have a unified response to winter weather challenges. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning. I'm Rob Woods, Director of the South Carolina Department of Public Safety. During winter weather emergencies, SCDPS follows the EMD in activating its emergency plan and works closely with other state agencies to include the State Law Enforcement Division, the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, the South Carolina National Guard, and the South Carolina Department of Transportation. Our goal is to prevent collisions and keep motorists from being stranded in hazardous winter conditions by ensuring that people are well informed and properly prepared before they travel. We work closely with SCDOT to monitor roadway conditions for hazardous conditions during winter weather events and respond to traffic incidents as quickly as possible. But it is vitally important that residents and motorists properly prepare for hazardous road conditions. Before winter weather hits, thoroughly check your vehicle, paying close attention to your tires, to your brakes, and ensuring that there's adequate fluid in the vehicles and that all the lights on the vehicle are operational. As with any severe weather event, we always encourage residents to stay off the roads until the hazard passes. However, if it's absolutely necessary for you to travel, just follow some common sense rules. Slow down, increase your following distance, and ensure that you stay alert to changing weather conditions. If you're planning a long trip this winter, be sure to monitor weather for the entire route since conditions do change quickly. Before going out, make sure that your cell phone is charged and you communicate your travel plans to a friend or to a member of your family. Becoming stranded in a vehicle with no heat can quickly turn dangerous, so we encourage motorists to keep blankets, food, water, and flares in their vehicle. You can find more weather information from our website at scdps.sc.gov. And we also encourage you, as Director Stinson mentioned, to make sure that you're monitoring conditions from trusted resources, such as the Emergency Management Division, the National Weather Service, and SCDOT. Thank you.
Thank you. Secretary Powell.
Thank you. I'm Justin Powell, Secretary of the South Carolina Department of Transportation. SCDOT's 4,000 employees are fully prepared for winter weather. Our preparations began in October, including staffing plans, refresher training, and ensuring all equipment is ready for rapid deployment. More than 1,200 pieces of snow and ice equipment are ready across our state, and they're strategically supported by stockpiles, including 60,000 tons of salt, 1.3 million gallons of brine and calcium chloride, and two 10,000-ton salt domes in Columbia and Spartanburg. When a winter weather threat arises, SCDOT monitors those forecasts carefully and begins pre-treating priority routes. Those are our interstates, our primary routes, and routes that lead to emergency facilities using brine and salt. Crews will work around the clock during a winter storm and will be prepared to shift resources throughout the state as needed until routes are safe and clear. We, as Director Woods mentioned, we encourage residents to avoid travel during a weather storm and to monitor traffic conditions. You can do so on our SCDOT 511 app at scdot.org and through our call center 1-855-GO-SCDOT. SCDOT is ready for winter weather, and we encourage South Carolinians to be ready as well. Thank you.
Chief Jones.
Good morning. My name is Jonathan Jones. I'm the South Carolina State Fire Marshal. As temperatures drop in the winter months, we want to remind everyone across South Carolina to prepare now for colder weather and to stay fire safe all season long. Preparedness really starts at home. Every winter we see tragic fires that could have been prevented, and heating equipment is one of the leading causes of home fires when used incorrectly. If we experience power outages due to winter storms, the fire risk associated with the use of candles and generators increase. And this is also the time of year when carbon monoxide incidents increase, often due to improper use of fuel-fired heaters and generators. If you are using a space heater, please remember the 3-foot rule. Space heaters need space. Keep it at least 3 feet away from anything that can burn, including curtains, bedding, and furniture. Always plug electric heaters directly into the wall outlets. Never plug them into power strips or use extension cords with an electric space heater. Never leave any space heater running when you go to sleep or when you leave the room or your home. Make sure smoke alarms and carbon monoxide alarms are installed and working properly. Replace all the alarms in accordance with manufacturer's instructions, and specifically smoke alarms when they are over 10 years old. For those of you that are using fireplaces, burn only dry, seasoned wood and use a sturdy screen to prevent embers from escaping, and let the ashes cool completely before placing them in a metal container outside. If we do experience a winter storm and the power goes out and you're using a generator, it must never be used indoors. Always use generators outdoors only and at least 20 feet away from windows and doors. Never run a generator inside your home. When refueling a generator, please remember to turn it off and let it cool completely to prevent a fire. Fire prevention and preparation really go hand in hand. By taking a few small steps now, testing alarms, keeping heaters away from things that can burn or start a fire, and using candles and generators safely, we can help prevent tragedies and stay fire safe this winter. And I'd like to encourage our citizens, if you want more information on fire safety for your home, please visit firesafe.sc.gov for citizen safety guides. Thank you.
Well, you've heard it. If for those who've been at our hurricane briefings before, you'll note that there's a lot of similarity. In fact, most of the dangers are almost identical. But we don't seem to have as many dangerous storms, that is, in the wintertime and with the ice and snow as we do with regular hurricanes. But they are just as dangerous, and I remember 1973 was one of the worst we had, when we had 8 people die. And all the reasons, they're all the same. You had people with heaters in confined spaces. You had power lines that were down. You remember very often in the hurricanes, particularly Helene, we had power lines down in the upstate around Greenville, Spartanburg, and all along the west side of the state. And of course, the power companies couldn't get there because you had live lines that had been knocked down in the streets and all tangled up all over the place by the tree limbs that were falling and trees that were falling. But the same kind of things can happen with an ice storm. The weight gets on those trees and down they go. So although we have not had as many serious ice storms and winter storms as we have hurricanes, we have had some very bad ones that we have had even more damages than some of our hurricanes. And we don't want to have that happen again. So the time to get ready is now. I bet that a lot of people don't know how to turn their water off, where the main valve is for the water. A lot of people are unfamiliar with how to run a gas heater inside a house. People usually don't think about having plenty of medicine, the medicines that they may need if they can't get out of the house for several days, which is quite possible. Most people have not been riding along a perfectly good highway and not realize that all of a sudden they were on a patch of ice and the car was spinning around in the road and going off to cause great damage to themselves and property. But it could happen, and it will happen again. So what we're urging people, just as we do for hurricane time, is to be careful, be prepared, understand that it can be dangerous, and we don't want it to happen to any of our people. So I have a proclamation. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nelly. And I will read it. There it is. It says, State of South Carolina, Governor's Proclamation. South Carolina is vulnerable to various types of hazardous winter weather, including cold temperatures, snow, ice storms, freezing rain, sleet, and black ice. And whereas severe winter weather can cause injury and death through hypothermia, frostbite, heart attack. People go out and shovel snow and have a heart attack. Happens often in other parts of the country. We don't want it here. Traffic accidents and other related causes. And whereas severe winter weather can interrupt electrical and communication services to homes, schools, and businesses. And whereas the state has experienced severe weather, including ice storms resulting in significant damage, power outages, and loss of life. And whereas it is critical now for residents to take the time to prepare their loved ones and safeguard their property before a severe winter weather event. Now, therefore, I, Henry Dorgan McMaster, Governor of the great state of South Carolina, do hereby proclaim November 30 through December 6, 2025 as South Carolina Winter Weather Preparedness Week. Throughout the state, and encourage all South Carolinians to join the South Carolina Emergency Management Division, the National Weather Service, the State Emergency Response Team, and all county emergency managers in this effort to increase awareness for winter weather safety and to help further disaster preparedness statewide. Signed by me, Henry Dorgan McMaster, your proud, happy governor, on behalf of 5.3 plus million proud, happy South Carolinians, and we want to keep them that way. Does anybody have a question? What a surprise.
General Hyman, you mentioned the National Guard is on call for the winter emergency. Is that affected by any of the deployments or other things in the National Guard?
No, we have more than enough soldiers and airmen to respond to any emergency we have in the state. We do have soldiers and airmen deployed currently, but we have more than enough here back in the state to respond to any emergency.
Are those assigned for winter weather duty different from those other, kept separate from the other duties?
You talking about, no, that's it. That'll be additional duty. We will call them up, just like we would in a hurricane. They would respond to support to any civil authorities, just like we do during hurricanes. We don't pull anybody off their federal or state mission just for winter weather. Is that it?
Next question. Next question. Anybody up here have a question or anything we left out? All right, want to thank you for coming. Want to urge everybody to be safe. Remember your animals. They got to come inside. Get your medicine ready. Let your friends know where you could be, your family, if you're going somewhere. And be very careful when you go outside in this weather. And let's don't have anything we have to be very sad about. So thank you very much. We can go now.